Take a look. We'll go up the hill though, because there's a bunch of people gathering down below. So, I think it's starting to rain. Well, it's dark in here, but maybe we sit in here. It just started. Where did the rain come from? We've been waiting for rain like for 2 weeks.
It's not going to be much.
No, you can usually see it when it's coming. It's coming from that direction there where we're looking at in the camera. And it's not even enough to change the color of the sky or the mountains. So it can't be much rain. But we'll sit in here and Karl can think of Jay while he drinks his 15% beer. Hopefully it's not too dark. I think the camera was pretty good at getting light. Good morning, Robin.
Very dark from my perspective. But
yeah, but the camera seems to hold up, so I think we're okay as long as you were...
Didn't you have some kind of light source when you sent from
here? Yeah, Jay did. We used his external light, but it's actually okay if we're on this wall. Cozy on up to the Viking bar, Karl. It can see you anyway.
And we have no Freeman staying in there, no?
No, not right now. Well, maybe one is sleeping in here, but he's not for long anyway. He switches to a house, I think yesterday. So anyway, we got a lot of people to say hi to, and Karl, we've missed you. Where were you the last week? Well, not last week. You were with me in France, but we missed you for Jay.
Yeah, no, I was in Celia.
In Celia, yeah. Well, yeah. If you stand against the wall, you're brighter. You're looking slightly creepy.
Slightly?
Hi, cat, says Raymond. Hi. Let's see. I stand this way. Yeah, because if you have your back to the wall, you're not casting a shadow. And I can do this and the little.
I can maybe use some of these light sources. You just have to remember to
put them out. Yeah. I see those are the blue candles of mystery. We don't know where they came from, but they're the wrong color for the Viking village. So yeah, we came back from France on Tuesday. Do you want to explain our wonderful trip home, how that went? While I slam some water because it's hot.
There wasn't actually, well, aside from the minor police issue, there wasn't really any major issues on the turn back.
Did we have a police issue? Oh yeah, you can talk about that if you want. That wasn't us.
No. And we went to Voss. That was kind of the last stop. So me and her took a hotel room, and her kids were going on the train at 20 minutes past midnight. And I had a sleeping coupe with the window facing towards us. So when we see them getting position, we are standing there waving to them. And waving to them. And waving to them. And waving to them. And it gets so long that I get tied in my wrist by waiting. And I see some train personnel is moping about on the other end of the train. So I walk up to them and ask, is the train delayed? What's going on here? And they say, no, it's nothing major. We just have to wait for the police to assist us a little bit, and then we can move.
My two 16-year-olds are on the train. What kind of assistance do you need from a police?
And then about 5 minutes later, maybe 10, 2 police officers show up, go on the train, pick up 1 or 2 people. I think I picked up one and the other one followed.
Yeah.
They have a short conversation and the train leaves.
Yeah. So basically, do not board a train in an alcoholic state. That's pretty much, it wasn't us, but it was whoever got kicked off the train. Let's see, I got the camera like way up at the sky here.
You are allowed to be drunk on the train, you just can't
be
go
obnoxiously
around.
drunk.
Well, depending on, if you are a disturbance, or if you're making threats, or you're doing some stupid shit like that, then they are not obligated to take you anywhere.
No. So anyway, it was one of those things where my kids sitting there going, you just want to go to sleep. Why do you have to sit there and wave till the train goes, Mom? This is embarrassing. They're 16. And then it was actually a great opportunity to say, this is why we wait until your train goes, just in case. How's that new lighter working out for you, Karl?
It's very bad at this. It's great for lighting cigarettes.
So it's not really a lighter, it's like a flame torch you have there.
Yeah.
I don't know where you picked that. Which country did you pick that up in?
Norway.
Was it Norway? He says he's afraid of that lighter because it's the flame, you can't really see it.
In here you can see it just fine, but in
Maybe not.
normal light, yeah, I guarantee you can see it fine.
Oh yeah, we can see it perfectly on camera.
But in normal light, it gets invisible.
You dropped something on the floor. I don't know what, but it fell out of your pocket and it's right next to your foot there. Here, you blind. Okay, so I gotta say hi. There's people to say hi to.
This didn't come from my pocket, I guarantee you.
Yes, it did. The plastic did. Lots of people here, and I was so late in putting up the link. Audra is here. Raymond is here. They're all hot. Lots of rain coming tomorrow, says Raymond. You know, they said there was a lot of rain going to come here last week, and they were wrong. Well, kind of, not really. There was a nice thunderstorm here a couple of days ago, and it was only in this part of the valley. Here. It must have been raining right here in Gudvangen, because if you go up to that avalanche over there, just around that bend, no rain. I think it literally must have just gone up. We could hear the thunder. It must have just gone along the top of the ridge there and then past us. So we didn't get any rain on that side of that mountain there, on that side of in the valley. But apparently they got quite a bit here. And I could hear it thundering, which is, I gotta say, it's not too often you hear thunder in Gudvangen. But when you do, it, hi Charlie, you're on YouTube. It's Charlie. I was gonna say, when you do, it bounces off these mountains here and it echoes big time. Do you wanna say hi?
Hi.
It's Charlie. We have to give Charlie a hug.
Hi.
See, Charlie, hug. Mm. Charlie is a surprise visitor today.
Yeah.
So good to see you.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new pit house?
No.
You have to go see the pit house.
Yeah.
We have to wait first. We have to look at your tunic. Look how pretty. Charlie is one of our more pretty Vikings from head to toe. And you have to do a spin. He has a little visitor badge on, but that's just so he can take pictures. Look at that, stunning. But you don't need this anymore. Now you're okay.
Yeah.
You can keep it. Now we're closed. You look great in the valley. It looks good on you. You need to stay. He's doing the Instagram pose. Well, you should take a look inside while it's open. Okay, see who else is here. Well, there's no more rain now. Charlie's from Germany. He was one of the first Vikings I met in Norway, or in Gudvangen, in 2014. Audra's back home again in Trondheim, Norway. She's got a cold 16 degrees Celsius. Oh, you're so lucky. And then Raymond is at 5 in Australia, in Perth. Let's see. No, it's been just hot here. Arlene, oh, she's also dying of heat. 38 degrees, oh my God, in Winnipeg. Holy crap. Weather report on YouTube. How hot is it in Germany? Is it hot in Germany?
What?
Hot in Germany?
Hot?
Hot.
No.
No?
Heavy rain.
Heavy rain?
Rain and storm and
Yeah?
thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms too? Only here. No, it's a little cooler now. Yeah. Let's see, Albert has 27, and that's over by Björnlien, if I remember correctly. Let's see, I went too fast. There we go. Oh, Susan's here. She's got 26. She's in Frankfurt. 26 in Frankfurt. I'm working on my German. Robin is here, back in the United States. Robert is here from Glasgow, I believe. He's coming next month. Max is here. Week turned out pretty good. Finally got his sanity back. Yay! Audra is here. Well, back home from Lithuania. Let's see. Garcia is here. She's late, but she's here. Oh, I was a couple minutes late. Doro and Karsten. Do you know Doro and Karsten? Maybe? I think they're in. They're also in Germany. They're yeah, maybe. Okay, well, if you remember Charlie, Charlie says hi. Let's see. Poor Bunny. Oh, Audra needs to bring her Bunny to the doctor. She's a bit nervous. And yep, you got Raymond the Bunny Whisperer over there. He'll be praying for you. Artifacts Master. It's really hot in India. Oh, it's Osman, by the way. Karl, it's Osman.
Hello.
Say hi, Osman. Oh my God, it must be really hot in India. 48 degrees. You're insane. Welcome back to Norway, Osman. Jenny Lynn is here. Long time no see. Welcome back. Let's see, who else did I miss? North of Germany. Doro is in the north of Germany. They are 23 degrees. Yeah, you're okay. And you're in Hamburg?
No.
No?
South.
South. Yeah.
Munich.
Munich. Ah,
Yeah. Nuremberg.
Nuremberg?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw the castle.
Yeah.
Big. Cinderella.
Yeah. Schloss Neuschwanstein.
Schwanstein, yeah. Let's see. Artifacts Master. Osman says, hi, Karl. Yes, I am missing Norway a lot. This is a new building, Osman. This building wasn't here when you were visiting. It was being dug. But that's the pit house we were sitting in. And the village. See, the boat is done and buried and the grass is growing in. And everybody's down there getting ready for a party. Arlene said they just got thunderstorms warnings. Karl, what happened when we were leaving, when we were going and we got up at what, 3 o'clock in the morning from Morlai to drive to Brest? And we didn't quite realize there might be some weather.
Well, I'm guessing the French would call it unseasonably wet.
Unseasonably wet. It was like...
It was monsoon quality rain.
Yeah. In fact, when we got to Charles de Gaulle Paris, they said they were surprised that we made it out of Brest because it was big thunderstorms, heavy rain, and a bit of wind. We couldn't drive more than 70 on 110, and believe me, I was white-knuckling that steering wheel like nobody's business. Yeah. Well, we can see back in here again anyway. Then I have to show, I show some needle binding. I have not done any needle binding on YouTube. Do you visit Hedeby? Charlie, do you visit Hedeby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 times.
Doro is there every week, and Karsten.
Okay, yeah.
You probably have seen him. Okay, Doro, look for this man.
Yeah.
You can give him a hug and tell him Karin said so.
Yeah.
We like Charlie. Oh, nice. Robin has only 17 degrees on the California coast. Nice. Okay, so we should play with some needle binding here, and then we can tell. Oh, we went to see Oceanopolis too. Let's see. If I put this down here, maybe we can see my needle binding. We went to see Oceanopolis, but 2 of the displays were closed. Let's see. Put that there. So the big fish we couldn't see. And penguins. I think the penguins and the big fish were the ones we weren't able to see. The color fish, he called them. Let's see. I have to find some yarn. So I'll show you my advertisement of Oceanopolis. We did see this fish here. We saw him. Does he look like me? Kind of looks like me. Let's see. Should we turn? Especially when I'm looking down at the camera. Maybe, maybe not. There. But my kids found this on Google, so we decided to look when we're in Brest. But you can see this one and this exhibit were closed. But there you go. For those of you who can read French, that's where we went. And it was really good. It was actually quite okay for Karl's father too. They had a wheelchair to loan, so he didn't have to walk so far. My kids were big enough to go on their own. We had food in the restaurant, and it was actually really good. So there you go. One of my daughters wants to work with in marine life. She wants to work with marine life. So we went to see Oceanopolis in the rest. Okay, Dalarna is the month, and the yellow. Of course, I don't have any yellow yarn on me, so I'm failing miserable with the color of the month.
This was a bad day not to bring a knife.
Karl's trying to open his beer. I'm kind of enjoying just one sock and it will be done, says Audra. Let's see me turn it. Karl's beer, I see you're not waiting. This is the 15% you've been waiting for so long to drink.
I've been waiting for months for this, so I'm not
The
waiting anymore.
15% beer, although it does say it's Australian, so there you go, Raymond. One from your country. And it said, what, Australian something rum, but it's beer? I don't get it. Read the label.
Off the rack Australian Dark Rum 2022 features a robust roasted malt and coffee notes of our Imperial Stout. Elegantly mellowed by the caramel and vanilla whispers of rum-soaked oak. Balanced yet complex. The delicate essence of something very strong beer.
Something very strong beer. Vanilla, says Audra, with a question mark and an exclamation point.
Because normally when they are talking about...
Charlie came to play.
Frankish beer.
What are you bringing for beer? I have to see.
Frankish, the best
Frankish
beer.
beer. It's called Keller beer. Also for the...
Beer. Schöner.
And how much percent are you playing with?
5%.
5.4. Okay, Karl, you're going to have to trade tastes here. He has 2 glasses. Okay, so what do you think? Good? Oh, he takes it straight from the bottle. Was it good?
Yeah.
You've had it before. You look very pleased. No, he says it's very good. And then Karl is still...
This stuff that looks like wax is actually some kind of wax. So
Maybe if you want to see if he has a knife, you can borrow.
I'm practically done now.
I'm getting kind of bored here, Karl.
My beer is easier to open.
Your beer is much easier to open. The Germans are laughing at you. That's all I have to say.
Open and close.
Open and close. Look how simple. And now it's closed again.
The old milk barrel lock.
Okay, did you no, you're still working on it?
Oh yeah.
It's that big wax coating. It looked like a big drip of wax on it, but it actually is wax, you said. Oh, there's a piece of it right there.
I believe so. It's too soft to be plastic and a little bit too hard to be wax. So I don't
Not
know
with
exactly.
the car keys, says Robert. You're making the Scottish people cry.
I don't have a car key. I have keys for my father's house and work and my gun cabinet.
Oh yeah, so definitely go with the work key.
Of course. Because that famously opens things.
I think we're actually changing the locks at the end of the season, so. We're judging. Look at that. Charlie had to sit down. He's getting quite warm.
Disaster.
Yeah. Had to hotwire one of our grouped cars because he tried opening a bottle with his. Oh my God, I wouldn't have thought of that. Let's see. Germany
I
representing.
don't think it's a screw cork, but...
You never know. It could. Oh wow, it is really waxed on there though. Look at that. I have to show. It's like coated in there and everything. I thought it was almost like this thing you could just lift up. Oh, he's also going with a lighter trick.
Yeah.
I hear
The
air.
difference is that he gets it to work.
Yay, Charlie, for the win. Do you need a taste, Charlie? We have, I think, an extra glass. I think he's earned a taste.
Yep.
This is a beer opener.
The beer opener, yeah. The lighter. Albert has an English pale ale that is a 5%. And Audra's saying, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. No, I can't have, Max can't have any alcoholic drinks. I can't have any alcohol, well, most alcoholics anyway, because of an allergy. But, oh, look how dark that is.
It's a stout.
It is a stout. 15%, we shall see.
That's one of the reasons I'm very optimistic about this, because stouts are very rarely horribly bad.
Yeah? Let's see, should we move my bag out of the way so it doesn't look so... Oh, and my plastic bottles. Oh, there.
I have to go in and put it down because I can't find a flat surface out there.
Yeah, don't break the bottle. All right, you two, you have to stand over there and you can do a skull. And we'll see which one dies.
Skål.
Skull. It does look like coffee, says Arlene. There was supposed to be some kind of a coffee flavor in it. What do you think?
Well,
This is
Germany's not impressed.
this is kind of pausing. It's not really beer anymore. It's something
Is it
else.
more rum than beer? Because it did say rum. We have to show the bottle, by the way, after.
It tastes like some kind of coffee drink.
Yeah?
strong coffee.
Strong coffee? Espresso, maybe? Yeah?
The taste is somewhat familiar, but
Here, smell? Let's see. Oh! I see what you mean. I mean, it does have a coffee smell to it, but that's definitely not coffee.
coffee is the one taste I can identify.
Yeah? Let's see. I'll get the bottle for a minute. So we can see, Charlie can see what he opened. It's off the rack Australian dark rum. Raymond, what does your country do to this stuff? And it also says serving is supposed to be in a snifter glass, which I actually had to Google, but that is not a snifter glass.
No,
That's
it's
the
like
name
the
of the
opposite
beer.
of a snifter glass.
Yeah.
A snifter glass is a glass that kind of curves back on itself. So
Audra
it
says,
collects
vanilla! With an exclamation point.
No vanilla.
I
No
can't
vanilla,
taste
says
any
Charlie.
vanilla. That must be trace elements if there is any.
Germany and Norway are in agreement. No taste of vanilla.
that.
Raymond. It was Jar Jar Binks.
And I can certainly taste the alcohol.
Raymond says, I've never seen that one before. No, apparently you guys only get rid of it. You never keep it in your own country.
So, coffee,
Larvig? Oh, no, Larvig is.
coffee, alcohol, and pretty strong bitter aftertaste.
Yeah?
It's not horrible, but it's not first rate either.
So are you going to be able to finish your 15% bottle? There's a lot left in there.
Oh, I'm sure I can.
Oh, I'm sure you can. Yeah, is Larvig from Stavanger is what Albert is saying, because I'm thinking is that where it's brewed, or not brewed, but bottled? Brewed and packaged at Larvig in Stavanger.
That's...
I don't see, they even have an Instagram, Larvig beer. So where in the heck does Australia come into play?
It's an Australian beer. It's
Off the rack Australian dark
it's
from
like
2022.
Norway also makes Belgian beer and German Pilsner. So it's a Pilsner might be Czech.
Okay,
But-
so who are we blaming, Norway or?
It's a matter
Australian.
of where the recipe comes from, basically.
Uh-huh.
But I wouldn't put
Okay, is the sound back now? It should be. Apparently my phone started making a phone call. So they're all asking if it's muted. But, yep, it's back. Okay, it's because somebody tried to call me on Messenger. Don't do that. No. The funny thing is the person that called me on Messenger is right down the hill there, so she doesn't know where we are. But, yep, now we found out that if somebody calls you on Messenger, the sound cuts on YouTube. But I wasn't going to try to answer it, that's for sure, because I would have been afraid we would have lost YouTube completely. But it's good to see it recovered. So anyway, somebody down there from Denmark, it's their fault. They know who they are. Okay, I have to try some needle binding here now. we have been going through needle binding withdrawal. Let's see, maybe if I do this way, and then tilt down at the wonderful, not yellow, but blue yarn that I have with me today, because the color of the month is yellow. Something fishy in Denmark? No, we have Danish invasion. We have about 8 of them here this week. 8 Vikings from Denmark this week, and they're hosting World Cup games. Let's see. Try a little bit of... Oh, there's some really noisy bird over there. Needle holder from my kid. I think it's for cigars. Yeah, but it works great for needles. So, okay, Dalarna stitch. Of course, I didn't have a piece started already because I'm an idiot, so we'll make one. And I'll do this one as a round start, and I'll show you the deconstructed round start. First I start with 1 loop. Now I need 2, so I go under everything. We're going quick now. And now I have 2 loops, catching the new one under the old one. For Dalarna, you're doing it just like us, where you're picking off the old one, or taking it and twisting it. But you pick up the thumb loop from underneath this side, and then go under the leader yarn and pull through. Now, it looks like bunny ears, Raymond knows. So bunny ears, but we're gonna go with the bunny ear on the left. The only reason it looks like bunny ears is because we picked off that last loop that way. So bunny ear on the left, from right to left. Then go back and pick up the thumb loop from underneath. And then take the leader yarn over. There you go, bunny ears. Bunny, if it doesn't look like bunny ears, just straighten them out. So bunny ear on the left, then go under the thumb loop, under the leader yarn. And we do that again and again. Let's see. There we go, a little bit of dirt there. I think I'm gonna do about 10 of these. I don't know how many you need for a round start, but 10's a good start. I think 8 might be too little. Let's see. Let's see, straighten it out a bit. This is actually my wrong side. This is my wrong side. This is my right side. So we can count. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. Bunny ears on the left. Okay, to make it a round start, then you have to have an extra long tail. I forgot to tell you that. Let's see. Oh, she was looking for a coin to do for the cube. They needed a coin toss. Okay, so here I have one of these plastic needles that I hate, but some people like them, but it works. Let's see. So now we're going to go underneath the bottom of each stitch. So 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I took an extra one. Let's try again. I think I took that one. I don't need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it took the needle through from the working end and ran it through the beginning. And now I'm going to take the tail and thread the needle and pull the needle through. This is a deconstructed round start. And then as I pull it tight, this starts to make a rosette. I can do it one more time to make it sure it's even, but I'll do that after. Now, these are the tops of my stitches, so I can kind of work my way back and find out that this is probably my first stitch. You can see that there. So I put it back on my thumb, find my little bunny ears here, second, third loop, there you are. and go through the top of the next stitch, through the bunny ear on the left, under the thumb loop, under the working yarn, rethread my needle because I took the yarn off, and pull through. And I'll go 2 times in that one. So I did 1, I'll do 1 more because I need to increase this row, otherwise I just make a cone. So now I did this loop. Now I'll do that one, two of them in this one. So there's 1 and 2. One ear on the left, under the thumb loop, under the working yarn. That's 2. I did 2 in that one, so now I do 2 in the next one. Let's see. Okay, hopefully the sound isn't gone. Sooner or later she'll remember I'm on YouTube. Let's see, 1, 2. Peter? Sofie var etter en mynte til å bruke til en kubb. Men hun kan bruke hva som helst mynt, men hun ringer og jeg er på YouTube, så jeg kan ikke muligens svare henne. Hvis du kan bare gi henne beskjed. Tusen takk. She says, prøvde bare på å ringe for å fange mitt oppmerksomhet. I only tried to call you to get your attention, she said. Okay, I did 2 in that loop. I can see 1, 2. So then I'll do 2 in the next loop, and we'll do 2 in each loop 8 times because there was 8 loops, or no, 10. Sorry, 10 times. There was 10 I started with. So after this row, I would have 20 stitches if my math skills are as good as I think they are. Let's see. And one in that one more is 2. If I don't count it exactly right, it's not too bad. I just need to check at every row, at the end of every row, that it lays flat if I want it to be a flat round start. If you want it to cone a little bit, that's okay too. Or wave. Okay, now I'm out of string here. So, but if I flatten it out a bit, it does look a little holy there, but that's because I'm increasing. So there's 2 loops going in through, there's 2 stitches going through every one. But it is so far laying flat. So when I get back to the beginning here, then I'll see and keep reevaluating. That's Dalarna round start, right side. Wrong side. Wrong side starts to have a ridge already. Let's see. How are you guys doing over there? Viking addicts. After hours. You guys look so guilty. Meanwhile, I'm in hoodie. So I'm not too good today.
Do you think this is my
Hi,
Viking
Martin.
clothes,
We
woman?
kidnapped your house for a minute. Do you want to taste some of this wonderful beer?
It's not
Charlie
great.
says, don't do it. Don't do it. Come here. We needed to. No, it was raining, so if you have a glass or if you want to just swing one, right? You can be the Norwegian test offer. Take a test.
Australian dark rum.
18
So
or
it's not
15%. It says beer on the back, but it says rum, so we're all confused. But apparently it's a product of Stavanger.
It's not too bad.
Ah, one Norwegian likes it. Germany's like not having it. The other Norwegian up there is pretending
You
it doesn't
could put
exist.
15% on a tank of diesel and you would find a Norwegian to like it.
Yeah, yes.
So how did you like sleeping in this house? You're still in here, I think 1 or 2 more nights, I can't remember.
Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, yeah.
Yes.
You like it?
I do, because it's a bit darker.
Yeah.
And then it's underground, so it keeps cool.
Yeah.
So I run them very hot.
Yeah.
So for me, it's stellar.
Oh, it's good though, yeah.
Optimal.
Jay was in here just before you and he was brewing beer, but it almost looked like you hid your stuff so well.
Yeah.
So then I wasn't quite sure, but when we came up the hill, because everyone's partying down below, we got a little bit of rain, like so much that we crawled into the nearest hole. And then it stopped raining, so that's why we've temporarily occupied your house.
Oh, that's fine.
But Jay said something I didn't think about. When he gets up in the morning, he was looking for the light switch, and there isn't one. How do you
No.
manage?
Well, I charged my phone at the treatment room.
Yeah, and the charging
and
station over
then
there.
I embraced the darkness.
And you embrace the dark. Better have another drink.
Yeah. Embrace the darkness.
But you like it, yeah.
Yeah, this is nice.
You liked it, yeah? Well, there you go. Carl, how much of it do you want to get rid of?
You can have the rest.
You can have the rest. Oh my God. There you go.
Oh,
It's going to be an early night for you. Make sure you don't stumble on the stones in the morning.
I don't make any promises.
No, but congratulations on your beer. Thank you for
thank
letting
you.
us hide in your grotto.
Oh, yeah. My den is your den.
Your den is our den, yeah. Wow, you really didn't like it then, huh, Carl?
No, it was pretty disappointing.
It was pretty disappointing.
When you expect a strong stout and you get something that tastes like
There's a very big coffee flavor to that.
coffee and liquor, it's...
Yeah.
But it also tastes like it should be a dessert.
It should be a dessert, he
Yeah.
says, yeah. I got it, well, I couldn't taste it, but I can only smell it, but I can get that.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'll bring it
Enjoy.
in.
Good party for
Thank
you.
you.
It was nice seeing you. Well, yep, so no, the house was definitely new, so I couldn't remember, but I figured he wouldn't mind. Okay. But now we bought our way into it. Hello, darkness, my old friend, says Albert. It's a little dark in there. Yeah. Let's see, I have to go back a little bit. Raymond says, I have this little stainless steel needle for this part. Yeah, I like the weaver's needle. I don't remember where I put mine, so I have to get a couple new ones probably. But it's basically a darning needle, but it's this about that long. Oops, sorry, about that long, the whole needle. And I like it for that. But this one is just, well, it's no problem to have on an airplane, but neither was that. None of my needle binding needles have been a problem to have on an airplane. So I'll put this down. We'll stare at Carl's feet or up. What are you Googling so intently?
No, nothing in particular. It's just the phone kind of turns into this... what did I call the things that was so popular like 5 years ago? The things that you hold and they spin in your hand.
Oh, the spinners.
Fidget spinner.
Fidget spinner, yeah.
So your phone kind of turns into a fidget spinner when you're not on camera.
You look very godly when I do this, when I have you filmed from below. But
Yeah, no, I'm sure I have some divine parts below.
fidget spinner, says Raymond. But, oh God. By the way, Carl is demonstrating how collapsible he is. So when we were in France, your father had the honor of driving in the front seat of the car. Something to do with being 92 says that's okay. Meanwhile, he kept thinking you needed to sit in the car and you had to try to prove to him that you were collapsible.
Yeah. Compared to the 92-year-old, I'm very collapsible.
Very collapsible, yep. Well, so it was good. Ah, Morphodidius is here. Hello all, I've been spinning up skeins of 40-year-old buffalo virgin wool. It's spinning up nicely. I got a lot of nice off-white and light gray and also a light gray color. Carl, do you have any comment about what a 40-year-old buffalo virgin would look like?
No, but I have a clear image in my head.
Charlie, anything you... I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. No, but that's got to be some beautiful, beautiful wool, though. Virgin wool means it's not mixed.
I'm also very glad I'm not the guy responsible for checking if the buffalo is a virgin or not.
40-year-old buffalo virgin. Boy, the buffaloes must have really had a hard time kicking that one out of the house. Let's see. Jay is here. So new people, our new pit house is only given to bald people like us. Yeah, so nope. Nope, you guys don't get to stay in the house. I didn't even notice it. Welcome back home, Jay, by the way. I'm still catching up on messages. I saw I had one from Jay. Let's see. Carl, maybe you need Birzici.
Yeah, I was going to drink one.
And what happened yesterday when I gave you a Birzici?
It was probably too late because I completely forgot I had it and then I went to sleep.
Because I woke up
Thankfully
this
without
morning
opening it,
and
so-
there was an unopened bottle of Birzici on the table, and I thought maybe you were getting sick. But he didn't even open it. It was the Lithuanian beer. Oh my God, Birzici. Karl loves it. He says it tastes like bananas.
It smells like bananas.
Smells
it doesn't
like
really
bananas.
taste like bananas.
Yeah. Oh, and Jay, by the way, is from Germany as well. Our beer brewer, our beer brewer who is sleeping in this house. But look, it doesn't look nearly as cozy without Jay. Nope, Martin needs to learn how to decorate. Come back. Let's see. There's some more chat in here. Oh yeah, Raymond's making something I want to see. So yeah, hey ho from Germany. Jay, what part of Germany are you from again? I don't want to say the wrong one. I keep insulting Germans by saying they're from somewhere else in Germany than they actually are. But Munich representing Nuremberg. Nuremberg, Cinderella's castle.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's how do you say it again?
Nürnberg, Kaiserburg.
Nuremberg, Kaiserburg. Okay, I will get this. That James J gives you lots of hearts in a starry-eyed. She says, laugh out loud. It only means processed once, Karl. So apparently not as much virgin as we thought.
I would generally say that if somebody has been processed once, they're no longer a virgin.
That's what I was gonna say. But she's got it as part of a birthday present on Wednesday. Take good care of that though. That sounds like really fun. Buffalo wool. How do you get a hold of buffalo wool in Norway? I don't even think you can. I think you have to. I know you can get musk ox wool and yak wool, but you have to go to a yarn store at the nice yarn store at the train station in Bergen has it, but it's imported. It's not from Norway, I don't think. Meanwhile, we have a musk ox that lives just around that mountain there.
No, he's not a musk ox.
What is he again?
Something else. I don't remember what
He's
he is.
not a yak. He's Anton.
Yeah, he's a big ox, but he is not.
Not a cow. Well, he's got long hair.
He's an ox, but not.
That was a musk ox.
He isn't. I'm pretty sure about that.
All right, start Googling.
What I'm supposed to Google here? What is Anton?
Yeah. Yep, what is Anton? Big cow with long red hair, not a cow, but not a musk ox. Nice horns. Has no problem damaging your car if you look at him funny. And he will walk right up to your car, actually, on that road. But yeah, it's right around Scottish cow. That's Audra saying Scottish cow. Highland cow, says Albert.
I believe it's something like that.
That sounds more familiar. He doesn't have any bangs. Or he does have bangs, so he can't see through them very well. So I don't know how, you can't see his eyes, usually. Scottish Highland cattle, everyone's saying. That one. Okay, yep. So we're going with Garcia from Holland. Highland cattle. Find a picture of Anton. But he's very often photographed for anybody driving in that direction. Let's see. I can't imagine how you can sit like that. That would hurt. So while Karl Googles.
It's not like Anton is an uncommon name for oxes, so this is.
Just look up Gudvangen cow, but it's not a cow. Scottish. We'll look up Scottish Highland cattle. What do you get? We're all waiting on bated breath here. Karl doing the Slavic squat. Oh yeah. He's very flat packable. Okay. Well, he looks. Yeah, if you look up Scottish Highland cattle, not candle. Let me see the picture. Yeah, that's Anton, pretty much. Yeah. Look at the bottom one there with the bangs, his hair in his face. That's Anton. Okay, you guys win. What do we give them for winning? Some 15% dark oak rum beer, yeah. Australian Outback.
If I come here to get it, because I'm not trying to send that through the mail.
Nope. The Highland Coo, says Arlene. Outer said, if I would move to Gudvangen, I'd promise to buy him a feminine friend. Ah. Okay, Charlie might want a friend. Do you have one for Charlie? No. Let's see. Or as Robert says, because they're from Scotland, so I guess you wouldn't call them Scottish cows if you're from Scotland. As we call them, mucklecoos. A mucklecoo. Mucklecoo. C-O-O.
And for comparison, a moscus looks like this.
Yeah, I'm wrong. You're right. You win. Okay, let's just stare at the beautiful mountains. Does it wear a helmet with horns?
You could maybe say that, but his helmet isn't that effective.
No, but his horns are.
We have some coast girls down there by archery.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, one of the employees were kind of... I've always had the idea, which is common sense basically, that you treat the bows like weapons. You do not let anybody walk past you when you're shooting a bow. You don't do anything vaguely dangerous with the bow. But then we had this employee that said, it's only 50 pounds or so, it's not that dangerous. So we had Rune shoot a couple of arrows into one of the coast girls just to demonstrate what would happen.
Yeah.
And I think that got the point across pretty clearly.
Ooh. By the way, Jay says I got to read his message. Yes, I definitely will. He said he's got plans for coming back, of course. Yay! Look at Carl, so happy. He's jumping up and down.
This is Norwegian enthusiasm. You don't see me jumping up and down.
All of Carl fits in my frame. Jump, jump. It kind of like reminds me of Mario Brothers. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Are we not amused?
But presumably there was more to this in his message.
There's more to this in his message. I have to read it, and but I'll read it when I get home. I haven't read it yet because I've had about 50 unread messages by the time we got back from France.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it was
it's one of the messages there. Yeah, so I have to leave it unread, or I'll miss it because it'll just get lost and scroll. But at least I can focus on the unread ones. So then I will see. First, I had to take care of the Vikings that were in the village, and then, of course, I'm extremely late on commissions because it's July and it's busy, so I need to get those finished, too. Robert says, some of the American States class 40-pound bows as hunting bows.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I can see that. The tip of the arrow has something to do with it. But with a hunting tip, a 40-pound bow is very, very dangerous, as opposed to pretty dangerous.
Huh. Albert said, same, I have a picture of me that Rudy took of me on the plane for Iceland where I was sitting compacted watching a shitty movie. You're probably in the right position for a shitty movie, come to think of it. Yeah, but Albert is skinny like you too. He's like a younger version of Carl. He could be compactable, I would see.
I don't think I could do a whole plane ride like this, but
Pretty close.
just to sit down, it's either like
To
this.
Iceland, though, it's not that far. What, 3 hours max? To Iceland?
Yeah.
From Norway? Maybe? Bergen?
No, when I'm on the plane, I prefer to sleep in a shitty seat.
In a shitty seat?
They don't have any other kind.
Oh, okay. How did you do on this flight, though? You got to see out the window.
Yeah, but this, compared to flying back from America, this was like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Coming back from America, I watched all 3 of the bloody Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of the Apes, Return of the Vengeance
that's right, I
of the
forgot.
Planet of the Kingdom of the Apes movies. And I was sitting in a seat that it's like it's cast after the back of somebody half my size.
Uh-huh.
So I would say the Rune's child seat, the child seat in Rune's car is more comfortable than a plane seat.
I was watching the story of Millie and Vanilli from Germany. I don't know why, but it was on because we were taking a flight from Frankfurt. So they had German movies, so I could watch Millie and Vanilli in German. But I understood a lot of it. Millie and Vanilli, they got a raw, well, they faked it. Millie and Vanilli, girl, you know it's true. That was Germans trying to look American. let's see. You can see up there if the rain is coming while I check some more here. There's more messages here. Audra had a copper needle. I would love one of that. Arlene says, I have a very bright caution yellow. Oh, that's perfect for this month. I have to find some yellow. I think most of my yellow I've turned green because it makes a nice, if I plant dye it green, it makes a nice poison-looking green. Oh, I missed this from Raymond. He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a vodka drink. He drinks a lager drink. He drinks a cider drink. He sings the songs that remind him of the good times. He sings the songs that remind him of the bad times. Oh, Danny boy. I'm not entirely sure that's how that song goes. I like that one. That was from Raymond, by the way. That's a good song, by the way. Sings the songs that remind him of the good times. Sings the songs that remind him of the bad times. Doro says, I'm skirting a fleece from a Hungarian Zackel sheep. It has gorgeous locks. I have to look up Karl, Google Hungarian Zackel sheep.
I hope it auto-completes because me spelling Zackel correctly is unlikely.
Zackles with a Z. It has gorgeous locks. I want to see some gorgeous locks that Doro's working with. Max says, I've seen Dalarna stitch before, which I find interesting that it's almost like woven, kind of like a net. Yeah, that's why I like Dalarna so much. It's one mistake away from Oslo. It looks wrong on the first row, but it isn't. You just have to go with it. But it looks very woven when it's, because they almost look like they are interlocking, but it looks like the rows interlock as well. So if you ever want a basket look, or if you're doing two different colors in a striping, for example, and you want them to try to meld together, that's a good way to blend colors together. Raymond says, I deliberately made a cone in the construction of my bicocket hat. I like to put points on some of the hats intentionally.
What kind of sheep?
Hungarian Zackel sheep.
There are 3 types of sheep native to Hungary.
But one is a Z.
It's a Zika, a Raka, and a Tsingatai.
Let's go with a Zika. Okay, show me. We're waiting on bated breath here, those of us who haven't Googled.
Wikipedia doesn't have a picture of it, but
Karl's
let's
slow.
copy.
Karin ignoring that statement. Oh, I missed it. Let's see. Where was it? Some of the American states class have 40-pound bows. We read hunting bows. We read that one. Yeah, it's been 3 or 4 years of waiting on my socks, Karin. Oh, yeah. No, I would definitely be ignoring that statement. No, I'm horrible at finishing socks. Don't ever ask me for null-bound socks. You have to make 2 of them. I can make 1 sock, but then I have to make the second one, and then it's like, no. I got to give Oyvind one a pair first, though, because he made me a needle and said, here, make me. Oh, look at that. That's a boy sheep, I'm assuming. Look at the curl of the horns, too, but the long hair. So do you get like a one-year growth or a 2-year growth on there, or like half-year growth? Audra makes 3 socks. Where does the 3rd sock go? Charlie's not going to tell. Let's see. Yeah, it is the point of the. What is the point? It's a running gag. It is. Karin never finishes socks. I had 1 pair of socks in the store. I had made them, I think, 5 years ago, and then someone didn't pick them up. So after 2 years, I put them in the shop, and I put them extremely pricey because I hate making socks, and they did actually sell. They've been about 8 months, I think, which I was kind of surprised because that was the price of Karin doesn't like to make socks price. Let's see. So I have the dreaded 1 sock syndrome. I can make 1 sock, but not 2, which is kind of interesting considering I make them in tandem. I make them 2 at a time.
This is fun. I'm squatting, looking at my phone, looking at myself, squatting and looking at my phone.
Okay, let me see if there's some more chat up here that I missed. I saw somebody else was working on something here. There we go. Raymond says, I used telemark for that one. I made the cone by only increasing from the 3rd row. but like one count behind. And then when I got to the right size, then I increased for half the diameter and then not for the other half, and that made a beak of the hat. Oh, that's kind of what I tried to do with the Grinch pattern, if you remember seeing that one. It is on the page, Maria Lindhill's Christmas calendar. If you go on that one and then you go back probably 4 years or so, maybe you'll see the Grinch. It's like a doorstop, but it's just, it almost looks like the shape of a bottle, but has a really long curl on his head, and that was me only increasing on one side to make the curl do that. But I did, when I felted it, then I had to wrap the schnoz. I had to put a string around it to hold it in this position so that it would dry that way, and then it worked. But before it was done, when I was making the hat anyway, and it was only like this much done, it just looked like Gonzo or a really screwed up member on a guy. Let's see. But that one, if you only increased on the one side, it kind of tends to, well, actually you can decrease on one side and increase in the other side, and that'll also cause it to twist like that. Let's see. More on chat here. I still like the Danny boy. Keep going. Roger wrote something and he removed it. Hello, Roger, by the way, in Nolvia. Good morning. Saturday morning breakfast from Norway. So you can see over there. Sitting outside Jay's house, wishing he was here, and earning our right to squat by giving away your wonderful 15% beer that you've been waiting forever to try. So, you know.
No, it was pretty anticlimactic, and now I'm worried about the 2 other bottles I have
Yeah,
from the same.
he bought 2. Yeah, he had 3. No, was it 3? No.
There was 2 of that kind, but there are also 2 other ones from the same brewery.
Yeah, okay, so did you get a total of 4? I thought you got 3, and one of them was a double.
4 and 3 kinds, 4 bottles.
Yeah. So there's going to be 2 more of those at home. What do you think? Charlie doesn't believe it's going to be good for you. Let's see if I got through everything else here. Yes, the house was so nice and clean in there. Jay did a good job cleaning. Let's see, we got to the... I've got way past here. Catching up. Picture of Albert in an airport. No. Outer makes 3 socks. Not for kids. It's a squatception. Question for Karl. Did Viking acquire rice grains for their conquests or trade?
Unlikely.
Why would you think?
It's a grain, so it's nothing special. It's just food. So you would, if there is something you have to transport across half the globe just to get it, it has to be something more interesting than bland food. It would be possible for them. Obviously, they have rice along most of the length of the Silk Road. But I don't think they would be interested. Why would they? We came down here to buy silk, but you distracted me with your little grain thingies. So we buy them instead.
No?
Maybe some Viking that just couldn't afford silk or slaves or weapons or whatever the hell he was originally down there to buy, just decided to buy a few barrels of rice instead and tried to convince people it was some kind of magic healing or whatever. But I doubt it.
Oh. Well, you never know. So then I was noticing at the French wedding that we had went to, they threw rice, and my kids looked like horrified because there was birds in the trees and they were singing happily and moving around in nests and everything like that. Just, Mom, they're throwing rice. We don't do that anymore. The birds will explode. You have to throw bird seed. Do you have anything to say about this squatting one?
I don't know.
No?
But if rice causes birds to explode, then there should be no birds in Asia.
Okay, I get what you're saying there. Sicko. How do Vikings deal with allergies?
I think probably they dealt with it the same way they seem to deal with most diseases, and that's just suffer through it.
Suffer through it?
Obviously, if it's a severe allergy, like if somebody in the Viking Age had nut allergy, they would probably just die. I don't think they would understand what the problem was. And if they understood it, then it's like, yeah, okay, so you just don't eat then. Fine.
Nah. What about bee stings?
Well, if you are allergic to bee stings, the same thing applies.
Yep.
Try to avoid bees.
And, well, hay fever. That's why I've got hay fever now, too. My eyes are itching like mad. Or cat. You've got cat hair all over your pants.
Yeah, no, it's these are things you can to some extent avoid. If you are in charge of your own destiny, you can decide if you go and help out with harvesting of the hay or whatever, and you can also decide whether you have a cat or not.
Yeah.
But if you are a trell or a woman or somebody else who doesn't really matter, then it's not your decision if there is a cat or hay or whatever.
I like this image of you on camera. It's like somebody just completely removed your midsection.
Don't you like my midsection, woman?
It's just...
I thought that was your favorite part.
Can't find it. If you stuck out one foot but kept your hands in that position, now put it back in again. Now take the other foot and stretch it out. Now put it back in again. Yeah! You got it! Kasuk. Jay's house. I like the sound of that, says Jay. There it is, right behind me. Sitting in the ditch. Let's see what else we have here. Albert bought a Norwegian whiskey today made in Ottestad. Are you familiar with that? Oh,
No.
We screwed up for your father on the whiskey thing. Cognac.
You got a bottle of cognac.
Yeah, but we were, he was talking about on the plane over that he wanted to make sure he had some cognac in France, and I thought the poor guy should have a little bit of a cognac in his room, so I bought him a little hip flask. A little teeny tiny hip flask. Was like €6, not much. He was supposed to have some of it in his room. He didn't have to drink it all. But then we got stopped at the airport security, and they were laughing their asses off after checking your father out, and we couldn't figure out what was so funny. And they open it up, and they find an apple, which is okay, and a hip flask of cognac that had completely unopened. And they were laughing so hard. They're like, this apple, this is okay, but not the hip flask. But they thought it was cute that your father wanted to bring some cognac along for the plane ride.
Yeah. No, but I kind of get his point, because he was complaining, what the hell is the point of this?
Yeah.
And I say, now they don't like liquids anymore because it could be nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
And he says, so they want me to store my nitroglycerin under the plane? He has a point. It would make no difference.
Yeah. Then he had another thing. There was a machine where you put one foot, your left foot in. It's like a little bit of like the hokey pokey. You put your left foot in and your right hand on the handle thing, and then you switch and you put your left foot in and your your right foot in and your left. This is too complicated for me.
What the hell?
So I'm just trying to describe this, but your father had to go through this sort of metal detecting machine, which was really weird. Because I didn't have to go through that, you didn't have to go through that, but they were having a hard time trying to explain to your father, who wasn't speaking any English, and their French didn't speak English very well either. So their French guy was trying to remember words for left and right and foot, and your father kept trying to squeeze both feet in the space where the 1 foot goes. Give it up, Karin. Yeah.
And I think he still does speak good English, but he kind of just refuses to.
Oh, I think so.
So he's complimenting waiters in France in Norwegian, and he does everything in Norwegian.
Yeah.
It's also because he's hard of hearing, so he doesn't necessarily know what language people are talking to him in.
But the guy was screaming so loud in French, going, no, other foot, no, 1 foot, no, your hand here, no, your foot, put your foot back in your hand, no, just one of the feet, no, not that foot, the other foot. No. And your father is going, Yes, exactly. Do the Jar Jar Binks thing. It it was really interesting, and the French guy is getting hilarious.
but
I'm sitting here having my boobs checked for
They-
wearing an underwire bra, and the guy's just going, "You can help him in a minute." And then the third one was laughing their ass off because the whole thing was just
Yeah.
funny to watch. Apparently, the
No, but
hokey pokey.
he
yeah.
could have just walked through the gate because he can walk. The problem is that we came there in a wheelchair, so they probably thought he couldn't walk. So that's why they used this stupid
Oh, they
machine
had him standing
instead
up
of
trying to get. No, he had to stand up to get into it.
Then what the fuck is the point?
I don't know, but he was doing the hokey pokey, and he almost turned himself about. But that was not what he was supposed to be doing. That's not what it was all about. Yeah. Put your left foot in. You put your left foot out. Jay says the dried rice grains swell in the bird's stomach, causing the stomach of the birds to rip open. See? Exploding angry birds. So anyway, that's why Norway had switched to birdseed. But anyway, so it was a surprise because that's something that I think it's been about 15 years since we've seen people use rice at a wedding. Audra says, agreed, they just died out, or allergies mostly is liver dysfunction. In those times, I think food was not so poisonous, so the liver functioned better than it does now.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that because you have a lot of
I'm going to put you down. I'm going to needle bind some. Yeah.
you have a lot of potential problems with food stored the Viking way that you don't have with food stored modern.
Yeah.
There is a type of black mold, for instance, that make you go insane by eating grain.
Okay.
It's not a problem anymore because we screen for it and we just don't sell grain that contains it. But when every farm is storing their own grain and they probably have a very limited understanding of how to avoid it,
Yeah.
then that would probably happen. Probably a lot of people died from straight up poisoning from their food back in the Viking Age. But here I'm just speculating.
But obviously we knew, I mean, like what kind of things would they do to, I mean, how much were they into like natural remedies? They use this herb and this, make a poultice of this and that herb to keep swelling down.
That's the
or
medicine
to,
I have. They
Yeah.
don't have any scientific medicine. But the thing with medicine is that none of it is supernatural. All of it is natural. So some of it works because you believe in it, and some of it doesn't work, and some of it is straight up poison. And you would have a healthy mix of all of these.
What about scurvy? Did they get scurvy when they went traveling?
Theoretically, if you go far enough north, so you don't have access to anything that contains vitamin C. But
But vitamin C isn't exactly something that grows on trees around Norway. You don't have the citrus. What do you have? What else would you have?
you find it in smaller quantities in
Berries?
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm trying to think of one now, but I'm sure you have it. But in what?
we would have to.
Apples? I mean,
But citrus is very rich in it, but it's not the only source.
no.
It's just that I think there is very little preserved food that contains it, at least back then.
Yeah.
So the problem they kept having in the age of sails is that there is no vitamin C in your ship crackers and your dried meat and all the other food you have brought with you for your journey. So when you're out of fresh fruit, you're basically starting the clock. And if you don't get to land where you get access to fresh fruit, you get scurvy and die. Some British captains kind of understood this, not because they understood the science behind it, but they understood the statistics behind it. Because the people who brought lemon juice or lime juice on barrels
Cloudberries. Yeah.
didn't get scurvy, and the people who didn't did. So they understood that it was necessary to have it on board before they understood the dynamics of the disease, so to speak.
Outer mentions cloudberries. Roger says pine needles contain vitamin C, can make pine needle brew tea. Oh, I haven't thought about that. Vikings ate cabbage, leeks, and other greens that had vitamin C, says Arlene.
Yeah.
You're no longer squatting.
No.
I'm a little disappointed.
So I've gone from Slavic to Asian.
Okay. I had a guy today that I kind of wish you would have been there to see. He was from Sweden, or at least speaking Swedish anyway.
You shouldn't be having Swedish guys, woman.
I'm so sorry, but this one you would have liked, because he was trying to tell me about the Viking Age and how we actually come about saying it's the Viking Age, because apparently it was the Anglo-Saxons that came over here, and whatever we think of as Viking and paganistic religions that actually came from Rome. So this guy would have been your cup of tea.
No, he wouldn't. He would be an extreme annoyance to me.
It was interesting. I wasn't quite sure where he was going with this, and he was talking about the Vendel period, and I said, well, there's a little bit of an overlap between Vendel and
Unless
Viking.
you are misrepresenting what he said, that is just straight up insanity.
No, his whole reason for coming up to tell me this, and I had a customer then asking if they needed to or where to buy their tickets, etc. And he wanted to. Oh, good, we're watching you smoke. But he wanted me to listen to his point first before answering the customer that had a question about where to buy his tickets. So.
It sounds like a very annoying customer, but
Well, he was very hell bent on his ways, and it was most about like trying to say Osatrue didn't exist, and the gods that we have in like Thor and Odin and all of those are coming from the Roman Empire.
probably not.
So where do you think he's getting this from?
I would say some kind of mental disorder,
It's possible.
or maybe just the fact that he's Swedish.
Oh, geez, you're horrible. And you're the one who also said you had a guy that says, prove to me that Vikings existed.
At least that's kind of reasonable.
Yeah?
It's a little bit much to ask for if you want proof for the whole time period, every element of it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I have enough time, I can actually give it to you.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out where the heck he came from, but I just kind of, I thought, Anglo-Saxons and Vikings existed at the same time. So.
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah. That's all I could say to him. I didn't know what else to say to him. I just like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and debate it with him, but.
What was his point about the Anglo-Saxons?
He was trying to, the Anglo-Saxons existed, but the Vikings did not. I think is pretty much what he's trying to say, is where we have we should have the Anglo-Saxon age, not the Viking age. And then that came right after the Vendel period.
Yeah.
I love the face palm.
The Angles and the Saxons are part of the great Germanic migrations.
Yeah.
They are people from North Germany, Saxony, and Anglia.
Yeah.
They invade England when the Romans are withdrawing, and basically become the English over time.
Yeah.
With some Viking influence and some remains of their Latin Roman roots.
Yeah.
Vendel, on the other hand, is a name of what we in Norway call the migration era. It's basically the same time period, but it's before the Viking Age. So the people that are in the Vendel burial mounds are like 3 generations away from being Vikings by the definitions of time. If you go with the most narrow definition you can have for a Viking, that it's basically the people who are actively going on raids, not following a king who is invading another country, but basically independent contractor just here for your silver, then that's not an ethnicity, it's not a nationality, it's an occupation. It's basically anybody who does that is a Viking.
Yeah.
Then it is either a very popular side business for small farmers in Norway, or it's very uncommon.
Armed Nordic tourism.
I'm of the opinion that it probably had to be.
This thing is pulling.
I think the thing we keep saying, or people around here keep saying, that is most people in the Viking Age were peaceful farmers, blah blah blah. It's probably not entirely true. Because the dimensions of the Viking raids, like the raid on Sevilla with 60 ships, pretty much at Hamburg and Paris are attacked at the same time by armies big enough to basically break them, or at least force them to pay ransom to piss off. These are not small units of people. These are both parts of the great Frankish Empire that knows how to fight.
Yeah.
And for
Charlie concurs.
and for a group of people to show up and basically blackmail money out of them, it's not 3 men and a goat.
No.
it's a considerable amount of people. And the entire population of Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, at this time is around 800,000. Half of them are women. Half of the men are either too old or too young. So now we are down to 200,000 approximately potential Vikings. And I think most of them seems to be bloody active. I don't think there is a lot of peaceful farmers just tending his goats in the summer.
No. I just thought that was kind of an interesting. He was very hell bent that I should understand this. I don't know why, but he just thought I needed to know that, and
Yes.
eventually I just kind of said okay, and that was the only way to make him move on.
This is going to sound a little bit arrogant.
Yeah.
But I think I can justify it.
Okay.
A lot of the people who come here to explain to us what Vikings are and their opinions about where their religion come from are missing parts of their brain that censors what comes out of their mouth.
Because everybody here, for example, now, because they also kind of had to tell him, well,
But in his defense,
they're from
I'm
all
not-
kinds of religions.
I'm not getting
here.
his complete. I'm not getting his point
No,
because I'm
that's why I
getting it
kind of
kind of
wish you were
sorted
there
through
because
you.
maybe you would have picked it
But
up.
from what I'm hearing, he is not. He doesn't really have a point, and what he is saying is mostly.
Mostly, like they weren't Vikings; they were all Anglo-Saxons.
That's
what he-
That's entirely wrong, because the Angles and the Saxons are not the same people.
Yeah.
There is a break-off at some point in the migration era. They might not ever have been the same people, but when the Roman Empire collapses, the Vandal, the Visigoth, the Franks, the Angles, the Saxons, the people that later become the Vikings, and several other groups kind of just roll into the dying Roman Empire and go all over the place. The Vandals go to North Africa. The Visigoths go to Spain. The Angles and the Saxons go to England, and the Franks go to France. Surprise, surprise. These groups are not strongly defined. Is it the Spanish who call the German Alumani? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of these groups, or maybe a confederation of groups that fought the Romans, and the Spanish just kind of latched onto that name.
Yeah.
It's at the very end of the Roman Empire. And these people, after they are done being the Alumani, they might decide that, okay, you guys, go to Anglia and we'll call you Anglians. And you guys, go to Saxony and we'll call you Saxons. It's entirely possible, and I will also intermarry and move people back and forth as much as I like. But when you sit down and basically you are the king of one of these groups and you decide to go and invade something, you have to call yourself something. We are, what's the name of this place again? Saxony. Okay, we are Saxons. They are not necessarily enormously different from the other ones that live near them. But when they move to England, they get into contact with the Britons and the Romanized Britons and the Romans, and they kind of get their own identity from where they are.
Yeah.
So they are not the same thing. They are no longer the same thing when the Viking Age begins. They also get in contact with Christianity, which fucks them up horribly. You can say that all of these people are, in essence, Germanic, because they speak Germanic languages and they have Germanic culture. But when it comes to blood, they are basically everything, because, to put not too fine a point on it, a Viking will fuck anything that moves.
Oh my God, Carl! Not for children, Raymond.
And they don't really have a racial idea of, no, we are Germans, so we are better than these people. It's like, oh, that's a really powerful Slavic person. I wonder if he has any eligible daughters, because that would be a great alliance for me. So marriages like that and deals like that happen all over the place. So it's not a matter of blood, it's a matter of culture. And it's a matter of culture to a certain extent, because your culture is also dependent on where you are and who your neighbors are. So if you take basically two brothers and you send one of them to the one of them follows the Vandals to North Africa and the other one ends up in Alta, their children are going to be horrendously different because they live under different circumstances and they deal with different people.
Yeah.
So dealing with the Moors and dealing with the Sami people is not the same. And no matter which one of you you're dealing with, you will basically go, okay, I think you're barbarians, but you have some cool ideas. So I'll do that. And we're absolutely not doing any of that. That's basically how people work.
I was telling him maybe it's better to think of them as Norsemen then, instead of Viking.
Norsemen would mean Norwegians.
Norwegian.
Specifically.
Yeah, or Nordmen.
I like the idea, but it's not something I would say to a Swedish person.
No, this is true. I was going to say, you actually got some comments on this one. Because, says Roger, Wikipedia and Google are never wrong. Cough. Arlene said Vikings came to Canada, not Saxons. Haha. And then Roger says, it's a growing trend in the U.S. also. Students go to class to lecture the professor. You know, I'm not actually sure this guy had a ticket. I think he just walked up to the counter and decided to inform me of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm not sure where he came from. It was just out of the blue. And it was like, okay, and if you would...
The idea that their religion is influenced by the Romans is entirely possible. I doubt it, though. Because what keeps happening, and you can, if you read Julius Caesar's book about the Gallic Wars, he's talking about the Gallic religion. So basically something completely different. But he is looking at it from a Roman perspective, obviously. He's Julius Caesar. Which other perspective would he have? So he says the Gauls mostly worship Mercury, who they call Teutates.
Yeah.
So what he is doing, he is operating with the idea that the gods actually exist, and he sees their worship and he sees their idea of how their god works, and he goes, okay, that's not Jupiter, but it's probably Mercury then, because he has things in common with Mercury.
Yeah.
So they would probably consider Odin to be Mars. If they were asked about their opinion about which Roman god we are worshipping up here.
Yeah, maybe that's what he was going for. I was kind of surprised because I thought Norse mythology and Greek mythology is Roman mythology. I mean, and Norse mythology is not.
But if you first want to basically accuse the Vikings of plagiarism, then
maybe that's what he was doing.
obviously the Romans are plagiarizing the Greeks.
Yeah, that would be a little bit closer.
Oh, it's not even a little bit closer. It's straight up. It's straight up a plagiarism. The Romans have some original gods.
Yeah.
Like Benadia and some other ones. But their original gods don't have human shapes. They are basically concepts. So Benadia is the good mother or something. And that's basically just kind of the idea of how a good mother should behave in a divine form. So when they start making statues of their gods, that's because they are directly inspired by the Greeks. And down to the details of their personality, Mars and Ares are basically the same bloody person. It's an insane rapist who like war and occasionally come to word to fuck something.
Not for children, Raymond.
I think Raymond knows this.
No, he keeps putting up on chat. Not for kids, just in case anybody can't. He's pretty quick on the button.
And the Romans also seem to understand this.
There it is. Not for kids. Good job, Raymond. You're doing your job. I was going to say about the Alemania in Spanish. Also in English we say German, and in Spanish they say Alemania, which is of course the Alman as Alemania, and Alemang. In French, said Roger, and Arabic languages, Germany is still called Alemagne or Alman, routed to the old words for all men. But is it Deutschland?
I'm Alemani.
You're Alemani.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know if you because he doesn't have a microphone, but I do. But Charlie says, I'm Alemani. Yep. There you go. The one and only.
And
you
Frank.
And Frank.
Yep.
Yep, he's all the man and Frank. So he's got both. It's a good thing we have you here. We're at minute 84. I can show a little bit more needle binding while they're puffing away on their addictions. let's see. Okay, so I did a little bit more. Oh, Robert says, oh wait, first, no, let's go back up a little bit. Yep, Arlene's on her way. I've got to go let the dogs out, daughter's dogs out. Robert says, if you look at most pantheistic, if I said that right, pantheistic religions, all the gods have similar traits. Christianity did the same thing. Saints and angels tend to have the same characteristics as the old gods.
Yeah. That's, I think it's kind of a disservice to the Old Norse religion that we think in those terms, because I'm not sure that they did. But you kind of have to have a god of war. You
Yeah.
kind of have to have a god of commerce. You kind of have to have a god of love. You have to have a god of fertility and so on. So in my layman opinion, I'm not an expert on this, but I would say that these jobs seems very diffuse when it comes to the Vikings. Tyr, Odin, Thor and Frey are all to some extent gods of war. Freya and Njord are to some extent gods of fertility. I don't think the Vikings thought, okay, fertility is your job. You deal with that. Love is your job. Deal with that. War is your job. Deal with that. I don't think they were that straight on it. I don't think the gods had concrete work assignments.
No. And then there was, okay, so this is, by the way, the Dalarna stitch. You can see where it kind of starts looking like basket weaving, but if I kind of turned it around, you could see the rows more. But on one side it looks a bit like woven. Back to Karl. There you are. Frey and Freya, both gods of love. Or no, fertility, but different types of fertility. One was Freya, obviously, if you wanted romance, etc., that's your goddess. And Frey, if you wanted good crops or a fertile earth, he's your guy. Did I have that right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think we have this. Also, there is no orthodoxy here. There isn't a Viking Pope and a Viking Inquisition that will come and ask you very politely to worship the gods the right way. So I would expect that if there was probably a local hove
Come later.
We see it. Well, we're going to be done soon anyway.
somewhere
Thank you,
around
Charlie.
here. And I would expect their ideas of worship and their ideas of the gods would vary maybe extremely from another one that was further away.
Then you had God of War, which is Odin, is it not?
Well, originally it was Tyr, maybe.
Okay.
And then Odin kind of stole his job, maybe.
And then
A
how
lot
come?
of this is speculative, but
And then he has to make a deal with Freya so that she gets the first pick off the battleground
yeah,
to
but
go to Folkvanger.
that's another thing. Very much of what we know about Viking Age mythology comes from one source, one guy, Snorri Sturluson.
Yeah.
And it is probably close to 100% correct for this part of Norway and Iceland.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really tell us much about what people did other places. And also in his own books, you get an idea that up in Trøndelag, things were completely different. So Håkon Sigurdsson Jarl has his personal goddess that he can summon, that shoots arrows out of her fingertips, and she's not mentioned anywhere else. So what I'm saying is that I don't think there was an orthodoxy. There wasn't a kind of set way to do religion.
I would think everybody's got their own definition, their own personal definitions.
No,
As well, or?
not personal. It would be local.
Oh, okay.
And this is one thing I actually do like with the old religions as compared to modern religions, is that basically if you're a normal person, religion isn't your business. We have priests to deal with this. The priests and the leaders will make sure that we are in good standing with the gods. You don't have to worry about it. But in the Abrahamic religions, it's your personal relationship to the deity that determines if you go to the good place or the bad place or no place at all. It doesn't seem to be like that in the old religions. So whether a certain Egyptian working on the pyramids believe that Pharaoh is a god, or or if he just believes it's a very lucky Egyptian who now gets his grave chamber built for free, doesn't really matter, because it's not his job to believe in Pharaoh. It's Pharaoh's job to make sure that the Nile floods as normal and everything is fine, because he's a god. So the faith of the individual doesn't seem to matter at all. But again, this is not my field, and I'm just...
No, but it was an interesting thought. Anyway, it's been I can't remember the last time somebody's come up and approached with that kind of I just wanted to make my point known, and this is what I believe, and whether or not I think you guys are right or wrong, but it was weird to have someone come up and just say, I need to make my point and see you later, bye. It was very important too that I knew this, because other people waiting in line and such, but I had to accept that.
You don't have to be polite with non-customers.
I just said, and then I left it at that. There wasn't really much else I could say. But I don't know. I mean, he might have had a ticket. I just didn't see.
No, but
because he was on his way out. So.
No, I'm going to throw a little bit more shade at our neighbors to the east.
Okay, Raymond, get ready with the not for children thing.
No, I'm just... I
Your
would
beard
say
is
that
curled.
this
It's
is
cool.
this is almost a typical...
Really interessant, yeah.
It's almost a typical Swedish thing.
Yeah.
Because I can remember, in addition to this one, I've had 2 incidents myself where a Swedish person doesn't have a question, he just wants to tell me something.
That's what this was. He just kind of wanted to tell me something.
And in both the other cases, the Swedish person was as wrong as it is possible to be. One of them was complaining about, show me the send me the glass there.
Yeah, one moment. Let's put this down and we can look at the curl in your beard. Oh no, you're going to ruin the curl in your beard. I was having fun pointing that out to people. Let's see. Ow. There you are.
He was complaining about this blue ring. And he said that, no, they couldn't possibly have that in the Viking Age because they didn't discover cobalt, which you need to make the blue color, until 1730. And I go, yeah, but they don't need to know the name of the element. They just need to know which sand to use to make the blue color. And he was so sure of himself that as soon as he was gone, I had to Google it just to make sure that I was right.
Yeah.
I know I've seen blue rings on actual finds, so this shouldn't be controversial. But no, they were making blue glass long before they could make clear glass. Clear glass is more difficult to make than the blue glass. So women in ancient Egypt had blue glass earrings, for instance.
Yeah.
So you don't need to know the name of cobalt or understand that cobalt is what makes it blue to use the sand that makes it blue. And the other one, that one was so incredible. I am usually very good, even when I get questions that I consider to be stupid. I always manage to kind of put a good spin on it. But on this one, I got very close to being impolite with the customer because it was back when we had the long tent. And he walks in and he starts looking at the Gokstad beds. The beds that are actual replicas from the Gokstad ship find. And he is fingering the beds and looking at them for a long time, and then he turns to me and he said, "De kunde inte göra sånt här snickararbete I vikingatiden."
They couldn't do that kind of carpentry work in the Viking time.
And I just look at him and go, "Have you seen the ships?"
It's a fair point.
Of course I could. It's not even difficult. And also, he chose the one thing in the entire building that was an exact replica of an actual find. But it's... if an American had the same dumb idea, he would formulate it as a question. Could they really do this kind of carpentry in the Viking Age? But when a Swedish person has a stupid idea, they formulate it as a statement. They could not do this kind of carpentry in the Viking Age. And that makes them more annoying.
To a Norwegian.
To everybody.
Well, there we go. Sweden obviously is the one that's getting picked on the most today by Karl.
As they deserve.
No, Karl, shame on you. Okay, let's see. There was actually some comments regarding this too. Let's see. Nikki woke up. Welcome back, Nikki. Let's see. Nobody expects a Viking Inquisition, said Raymond. I was not expecting the Viking Inquisition. I didn't know. It just took me by surprise. I'm sitting there going, the guided tour starts at 2. From that tent over there, there's archery and axe throwing on the right. You can go into the Chieftain Hall, the green building there, and say hi to the Chieftain. Just open the door. He's shy. And the toilets are on their left. Hell, I don't know if they were Anglo-Saxon or it was just kind of,
Next time, just tell them that I'm not Anglo-Saxon.
I don't know. I was just looking at going, maybe you want to call them Nordman. Let's see. There was another one in here. I read that one. Oh, let's see. Veldy Interessant says, Heidi Lisa, by the way. Welcome. Nikki says, so I shouldn't go to a Swedish Viking village then.
It's probably the same over there as it is here.
I would think they'd get the same questions. It's
Mostly
just...
foreigners working there. And Holger used to work in Fotoviken. So at least I have some quality guides.
No, they've got some really wonderful sites. I'm sure they've got the same people coming and asking questions. Just maybe they're local. I don't know.
It's not questions. That's the thing. Because I can live with a stupid question, even a very stupid question.
Yeah.
But when somebody just decides to make a proclamation, you are Anglo-Saxon. This glass is fake, and I couldn't do carpentry in the Viking Age. That's just annoying, because you kind of have to go, well, actually...
Raymond says, you don't need to know the molecular weight of oxygen to be able to breathe it in.
True.
And then Nikki flashes an emoji with really big eyes. And Albert agrees with you. Robert says, our blacksmith was making nails one time, and a school group came around, and the teacher leant forward and says, of course, children, the Vikings didn't have nails. To which our blacksmith replied, aye, 'cause they gaffer taped Jesus to the cross. That was interesting, but yes, I guess that's a good point, Robert. Well, what I didn't do that in a very good Scottish accent. Aye. Let's see. Okay, a little bit more awesome reply. I know that is actually quite a good reply. They used duct tape. Let's see. Okay, so here I've gotten this far. Now, if I stopped and I notice it's a little puffy right in the middle here. But that's because I would need to maybe run this through one more time, this string one more time, and hold it down, and cinch it tight, and then it won't puff up quite like that. It'll stay flat. But it's only the middle. But now I'm increasing like 2 stitches. Here you can see I did 2 stitches in that one, but then the next one has only 1. Then there was 2 stitches in that one, and the next one only 1. So I did that for 1 round after I did double, and it's still remaining flat. So if I wanted to continue, 2 stitches, 1 stitch, 1 stitch. So there's 2 in that loop, 1 in the next 2 loops, and then 2, and then 1 little. But I'm thinking, yeah, it's so little, but I'm thinking this is just going to be a pouch. So if the base of my pouch is about as big as I want it to be, which I think is fine, then I just stop increasing altogether and do 1 in every one, and this will make it start standing straight up. So that's how I'm going to make it as a pouch, a little round pouch. And I used to do these little eye holes as to where you want your drawstring to go through later. I would basically skip 1 stitch and make 1 loose stitch, one that's like a chain, as you would call it, not attached to the previous row. And then I would attach the next one maybe in the next row or something like that. So I would have like a gap that was 1 or 2 stitches around or big. But I found out actually at some point, I don't know why the hell I'm bothering doing that, because if I'm using a leather cord to do as a drawstring, for example, it has no problem fitting in between these holes that already exist. So I stopped making eye holes now. I just literally thread it straight through the space in between the holes, and it goes just fine. But anyway, so I'm thinking this one's going to be a pouch. Karl, do you have any more stories to tell while I'm playing with this? Albert says, see, statements like that shows that you have not sat down to and have a thought. There, we'll put you back up here while I...
We had I think I remember
Oops, there you
one many years ago now. We had a Norwegian woman as a customer who did a similar thing. But I think she might have had some actual issues because her point was that Iceland and Icelandic people did not exist.
Yeah.
And we tried to convince her politely to the contrary, but she just didn't want to hear it. And
Where
I
was
think-
this woman from? Was she Swedish?
she was Norwegian.
Oh, okay. So now we're mocking on the Norwegians.
Well, I think she might have had.
See you, Lindsay.
I think she might have had an actual diagnosis, but I'm not sure.
Well, okay then.
But the frustrating thing is that about 15 minutes after she left, you know, Tuffa's biker friend from Iceland.
There's a sale at Lindsay's local yarn store. I think we all gotta go. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You know Tuffa's Icelandic biker friend.
Yeah.
He showed up like 15 minutes after she was gone because I would have loved to introduce those two to each other.
Yeah.
The non-existent gigantic Icelandic biker and a crazy Norwegian lady, that would be a very interesting debate.
Well, that would be interesting.
Maybe she could convince him that he didn't exist and he would just disappear in a puff of smoke.
So, Karl, you haven't worked yet since you got back from France because you've taken your proper vacation. I, on the other hand, July's my worst month, so I can't really.
As I keep saying, I went to France with a hyperactive American, 2 teenage girls and a 92-year-old. When we started from Selja, the bus driver had overslept and we just barely managed to get on the boat.
Yeah.
On the other, somewhere in the inland, her kids' train had electrical issues, so they had to take a bus and dick around and be up all night. Then we finally get to Bergen. I've rented a hotel, but because I rented it at the last minute, I have a hotel that is out on fucking Sotra
Not for
island
kids.
near Bergen. The taxi driver, I have no idea where the hotel is, so he just drives to Sotra and then he starts driving around in random circles. We get to the hotel, we get to France. We discovered that we had rented a car for the wrong day. So we
Yes.
have to re-rent a car and
9,000 kroner mistake, by the way.
dick around with that for quite a while.
Because technically there were no cars available, but luckily someone
then,
didn't pick up their car.
The wedding itself is over 3 days with a kind of unclear schedule of what happens which day, and things happen at random intervals. And my father absolutely refuses to use a wheelchair. It wouldn't have helped much on that venue anyway.
No, but to sit, he wouldn't sit either. He wanted to stand
No,
the
he
whole time.
wanted to stand and hold the tent up.
Cripes, it was hard for me to stand that long.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm half his age.
Then we had the issue of finding out where in France they sell bloody cigarettes.
Not at the grocery store, apparently, like they do here.
Yeah, and
Not
also,
even at a gas station.
everybody in France gets extremely confused when you try to buy cigarettes from them, as if they've never heard about it before.
Yeah, you said you gave a lady shock. She looked like she got struck by lightning because you asked her, where do you buy cigarettes?
Yeah. Then we have a thunderstorm on our way home, so we are delayed in handing back the rental car. Then we get on the plane, and at Charles de Gaulle Airport, I get to see how the French procreate, because the teenage idiot who was supposed to have my father on the plane with expedited service decides to spend half an hour just talking to a girl in French while she is gently jerking off a railing.
Jesus, Karl. Not for children, Raymond.
I don't understand French, so for all I know, they might have been talking about plane schedules. But I'm willing to bet enormous amount of money that that was not what they were talking about. And we get no updates, and my father wants to go to the toilet, I want to have a cigarette. We are standing at Charles de Gaulle Airport and being expedited by 2 idiot teenagers.
The coffee. French coffee.
French coffee is water, but I don't really care because I don't drink the warm stuff.
No, but you
anyway.
couldn't find iced coffee.
Well, we found it. There was just one woman at the hotel that was convinced it didn't exist. So she proclaims that you're more likely to find €100 lying on the street than you're to find iced coffee in France.
But we did find the Starbucks iced coffees in the refrigerator, but we couldn't find the milk section because apparently they don't put their milk in the refrigerator. So we had to find it in the cheese section. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I can't read the signs. I just walk around until I see iced coffee. But
Or yogurt, actually. It was the yogurt section. But anyway.
so, and then we obviously had drunken criminals trying to rob the train when the kids are leaving. So yeah, no, it's been a vacation from which I need a vacation.
But you're having a birthday this year.
Yeah.
Just like every year. But this year is going to be a little bit special. You're going to finally catch up to the rest of us. How old are you going to be, Karl?
I'm going to be 50 if I can survive until October.
If you can survive until October. So we are thinking we have to take you back to Leeds so you can see the Gladiator exposition at the Royal Armories.
Yeah.
So I think that's, and it's just going to be you and me.
Yeah.
So far. So maybe we have a bit of vacation then. And then Karl gets to see the Royal Army Leeds. I had a needle and I forgot where I put it. Oh, it's in my pocket. Okay. Let's see, get you some ketchup here. Sorry, pick that up kind of quickly. Not for kids. Good job, Raymond. Oh, don't get me started on crap coffee, said Nikki. Man, yeah, I feel your pain. It was not good. And then Raymond says, "Pas pour les enfants." Nikki says, "Non-prostitute." Oh my gosh, that sound. I swear to God, she said prostitute. Renice here. Everyone's checking in right as we should be. Actually, I've left a while ago, but it's good to see you. Albert says, while in England, go to Nottingham Warhammer World. Oh, we did go to the Warhammer World in Leeds and in London, but was it Warhammer or Warhammer World? What's the difference?
The shop's only just called Warhammer now.
See you, Garcia? Yeah.
Warhammer World is probably something different. And if it's in Nottingham, I believe it is nowhere near where we are
No,
going.
it's near London, is it not? Well, part of London is called Nottingham.
No, it shouldn't be near London, I believe.
Well, I'm thinking Nottingham Hill, actually. Because I saw the Julia Roberts movie and I've been to Nottingham Hill.
Not
But
Nottingham.
that's not Notting Hill, sorry, not Nottingham. Where the hell is Nottingham? Somebody get a map. Karl's Googling. I'm needle binding. By the way, so now that I am doing a row without increasing, and in Dalarna stitch tends to hug. So if you were going to make like a wrist warmer or a mitten with a Dalarna stitch, it would kind of squeeze your hand a little bit rather than sit loosely on your hand. So because of that, let's see, work isn't just doing a straight.
Pretty much exactly halfway
kinda
between
curving
Leeds
up.
and London.
Oh, well, then we could do that. Let's see, Karl's showing me a map, and I'm showing you needle binding. Hang on. See, where is it?
I'll just get the map to fit so you can see.
Okay. Well, then technically we could. It depends on how many days we went.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dalarna has a bit of a stretch to it. Yeah. Let's see. It says reduce speed Dalarna is more stretchy. So this is, yeah, it's got a bit more stretch to it. But it does really stretch this way. It does remind me of Chinese finger cuffs, if you know what those were. You would put this ribbon tube on your, with a braid, kind of a tube around on your fingers, and if you put your fingers in just like that, it'd be fine, but when you tried to pull them out, it would get stuck because the tube would squeeze tighter in the middle. But if you loosened the tube, then you could pull your finger out no problem. And that's kind of what this one does. It really wants to hug. So if you're going to make mittens out of them, you almost need to compensate by even having a few more extra stitches than you normally would. But this is already starting to curl up because I've stopped increasing now, making a pouch. But it just does it more. It doesn't do it quite flat and then up. It just kind of goes generally. And this, of course, is a little bit more pointed because I still have to tie it in. But that's where we're at so far. I like the way that blue looks on camera. Nikki says, my kid made a hat in Dalarna, took forever, and I braided the edge, a labor of love. Stretchy and puffy, says Outer. That's a really good definition of that stitch. Yeah. Not more stretchy, says Nikki, but more solid. Definitely more solid. If I were, because you're basically, I seem to like the word basically today. Let me see if I put my gimbal down here so you can see a wonderful shot of my orthopedic shoes here. Okay. There. So even though, so Oslo would be one away and then down. This one, connecting first, is one away, but you go back and flip that one. But because you're flipping that stitch, as it, you can see it kind of twists and then go under, you're causing the stitch to squish a little bit that way. And that's kind of makes it much, much more puffy. Then, so even though if this is like one little difference from Oslo, same amount of loops, 2 loops, but the yarn is thinner. If I did Oslo with this stitch, I would have to needle tension to get it to be not so loopy. But this one is just regular thumb tensioned. And it's already much more snug than Oslo would be. I decided I needed to drag my yarn across the rocks here. But yeah, so because we're also flipping that stitch, your back stitches tend to look like bunny ears. They point away. So you would go for not the bunny ear on the right, which would be this one, but the bunny ear on the left. And that is Dalarna. But yeah, if you're going to make a hat with Dalarna, and you normally use, about 1 or 2 finger lengths widths extra when you're making the hat, you would almost want to go just a little bit more, because this one will hug. But they make excellent wrist warmers, for example, because they sit snug to your wrist. Oh, I keep getting stuck on the rock here. My yarn. So, oh, here's another fun little story. My friends, some of my friends, Viking friends from back home in Vestby, Norway, were visiting this week, staying in the village, and their oldest daughter had one of these hoodies that we sell in the shop, and she really liked it, and she was getting a new one because her other one was she was sad because her other one was getting worn out in the sleeves, because that happens after a while when they get old. But I told her visible mending is a thing now, so you can just stitch around it, and I did deliberately use whatever embroidery floss I had, so it kind of changes colors. See, you can make it live longer. So I'm wondering now if she'll do that, and I think that'd be fun. She's 16 as well, no, 17, so she might. But yeah, it's very squishy stitch, but this is how thick it looks. Let's see. Radispi says, oh wait, no, yeah. My most stretchy hat is the mystery stitch. Now I'm kind of, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Or maybe I forgot because I don't wear it. She says, that's right, the mystery stitch, the one we didn't have a name for. Radispi says, I line the inside as well. Is common to displace the wrong side of it. Is it common to displace the wrong side of a stitch in a finished piece? Nope. Some people prefer, okay, so in this one I actually do really like this side more, this woven look, but some people will prefer the look on the wrong side. Not maybe for this stitch. This is more ridges, so this one to me is natural. But when you're doing Oslo, or especially Mammen or Broden, or one of the finished stitches, if you're doing 2 colors, like a stripe for example, you'll notice that on the right side they kind of feather a little bit into each other. But on the wrong side, and I think there's a guy, Bert, on YouTube or something, he prefers to show his work from the wrong side, because the wrong side has a real clear cut edge between the 2 rows, because in the finished stitches. So some people choose to use the wrong side intentionally as the right side. So the wrong side is technically just a technical term, like this is the technical right side, meaning the work facing you as you needle bind. And the wrong side would be the technical wrong side would be the side facing away from you as you needle bind. But other than that, you are the artist, you get to choose which is the right official right side and wrong side for you. I like the way Nikki says that one. There are no rules, go for gold. And she says, yeah, no, she knows, she's just curious as to how people usually do it. But yeah, especially you'll notice that when you're doing Mammen or Broden, for example, maybe we should do one of those next month. But check out the way they look. If you're doing stripes, look at the wrong side when you have a color change. It's very clear on the wrong side, whereas on the right side they tend to feather a bit more. So some people intentionally reverse those. But in Dalarna, I prefer the basket woven side to the garter side.
Suspecting it's time to see if we have transport home.
Yeah, it's definitely time to look for a ride because other people got to go too. But we still have 19 people hanging on. I'm impressed. Even Jay's given up. Bye, Jay!
Bye.
No, but anyway, so Karl, do we take the other 15% beer next week? You think you can handle it?
Identical to the one I didn't like?
Identical to the one you didn't like, but different color wax. I don't know. It's the same.
We'll find beer. We can try this brewery again because it might be. It's not necessarily the whole brewery that is wrong just because I didn't like this one.
Yeah.
And the other ones are strong too. They were just quite as strong as this, but it's other recipes. So if they're not trying to be Australian and failing horribly, they might be better.
I think you might have made Raymond very happy. Fake Aussie beer won't do. We're still on enjoying your wonderful company, says Roger. Aww. Oh, and then there's Vimo's Crochet. Just found your channel. Oh no, and we're just about to go. Everybody's popping up now. Larvig Pilsner is good, says Albert. Well, of course, because he's originally from Stavanger, wasn't he? No. Who was the one that was from Stavanger?
I know that he likes the raspberry bear, so I'm not putting any fight in his.
Yeah. Robert says, might not make it next week because I'll be in Croatia, but I'll catch up. But then Robert will be here in person. He'll be here in the village in about a couple of weeks. Not too long now. Vima's Crochet and sub. Hi, Nikki. Oh, well, Vima's, it was nice to meet you. I'm going to have to show you. I want to see your crochet too, by the way. That would be quite cool. Okay, so if you like the Viking thing, go for the Viking. It's okay, dear. I'm glad you found your channel. Oh, wonderful. But yeah, if you want to see the needle pounding part and you find the Viking boring, just fast forward till you see yarn. There's a stitch of the month every month. Now we've been doing for the last 3 years, I think. This month stitches Dalarna, and it constructs. If you haven't tried Nalbinding, it constructs exactly like crochet. You're working in the round, but you cannot connect your row together or join your row before continuing the next. You just keep going in a spiral, and most things are done in the round. Although it's technically possible to go back and forth, it's just not that easy. So the stitch of the month this time is Dalarna stitch. Not the easiest stitch, but not the hardest either. And then we have a color of the month, which is yellow, so I'm failing miserably. This looks like a Vikini, but it's actually going to be a pouch. So, and then this is Karl. This is my Viking. Karl is from Selja, Norway, and I'm from the United States, but we do live in this beautiful country of Norway. Okay, let's see what else we missed here. There's a couple more things flying. That beer, Karl, was okay. Yes, and we make Karl try a beer every time because it's kind of fun. Sandnes is where Albert is from originally. Okay. Let's see. Albert says...
Was it the raspberry bear he was calling okay?
The raspberry beer that was calling okay? Oh, God, no. Last time he tried raspberry beer, it wasn't that great. It was one of the few berry beers that was drinkable. Yes, he is, actually.
Yep. No,
You're onto him.
That's why I don't trust his taste.
Radisby said, I saw someone making Dalarna in a colored pattern a while back, and it looks so interesting. It's so fun to see what you can do with it anyway. Just one little change, because that is literally one mistake away from Oslo, and it has such a different stitch appearance. My focus, said Nikki, was spinning this month, not so much Nalbinding, and it's the end of the Tour de Fleece. Oh, I like that. My mom used to do the Knit Olympics. That was a fun thing. We're going to have to look up Knit Olympics and see if we can do that to Nalbinding. Robert says, yep, this time next month I'll be there, totally dreading it'll obviously be awful. Yeah, no, I don't know what you're going to do. It's a horrible, horrible place here. But I promise we'll have some rain by the time you get here. It won't be so hot. We're up at the top of the hill, by the way. The rest of the houses are down below. And then Raymond put all the stitches of the months in there for you. January was Telemark. February was the mystery one, I think it was. Yeah, March was Russian Polyarvi. April is Tybrin Vig Simple Looping, Round a Core. And then our May was Arboga, and this time our June was York F2, and then this month is Dalarna. And then he's got all the colors. Good, Raymond. He has it all in there for us. Nikki said, I wish that Norway wasn't so far from Kiwi land. We're on the other end of the hemisphere. It's okay. But What is next month's, though? A bit of a sneak peek? Nope, because I haven't made it yet and I haven't thought about it. I'm being lazy. Oh, he says he wouldn't call it a proper beer, though, Carl. Nikki says we're gradually sneaking towards spring and we're getting near fall, but not quite yet. Reddy wants to try spinning too at some point. Right now I've been on a little craft break, but my fingers are getting real itchy. Oh yeah, I gotta say, I know what that's like, though. I haven't, because we were traveling and because it's July, and it's a zoo here right now with so many people and customers and Freeman and everything. My Vikings, we got a lot of people, which means I've been really busy and I miss making something. I have to finish something. Maybe not socks, though, because one sock syndrome. Carl, you want to come say goodbye? Because we should go. Saturday next week we should be here. I don't think there's any crash in the schedule, so 6:30 Norway time, which would have been about 120 minutes ago from now. So, Carl, we've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
It's time to go.
Yep. Bye.
Okay, see you next week. All right, bye. Let's see if I can do this without putting my finger in front. Yay.